Okay, guys, what's going on? About 10 o'clock on a Monday evening. One of the things I want to cover today or this evening is something that I think is very important to be on the website, and that is an online booking feature. Now, the one that Junk Doctors has is uh, pretty involved and fancy, and it's not cheap. So as you get busier and as routing becomes more important, so like this is important for us because one, we have three separate locations. We have Raleigh, Greensboro, and Charlotte, and we do so many jobs and have so many trucks that routing's important. So we try and keep most of our trucks in a geographical area that's fairly close by. So we don't want trucks going from one side of our service area to the other, back to the other, back to the other. Going from north to west, back north to south to west, so forth. So what this does is allows us to book in 4 or 5 separate zones depending on what we have going on. This is a much more involved book online system than you'd likely need when you're first starting. So what we used up until late 2016 was something called youcanbook.me. So it is here. I will type it in, youcanbook.me. I'll leave that part on. Okay, so youcanbook.me, it is either free or it's like $16 a month. Now the only difference for the most part is if you pay $16 a month, you could have multiple calendars, and those multiple calendars, would be if you have multiple locations. But for most of you that just have one location, you can get by for free. And the other thing that you have is there is an advertisement on the bottom of your calendar. It'll say book online system provided by youcanbook.me or whatever. So unless you just want to get rid of that, you can just roll with the free version and do just fine. Now youcanbook.me actually syncs with Google Calendar, which is what makes this really, really cool. So we'll log in to our old youcanbook.me account. You can use your Google account to log in. I was just in a minute ago, so let's see if it pulls up the correct one. Oh, it didn't. Apparently, no, here we go. It did not log me out. Now these are multiple calendars that we had. So if you look on this on the back end, and they have a pretty good help section to help you get set up. But what you'll do is you'll come in and just work through each of these sections up top. Here are your times, so your normal operating times where you would do jobs. So in our case, what you'll do is you'll do it by your start time. So even though it's a 2-hour arrival window, what you'll have to do is in your confirmation email, you'll actually have to specify it's a 2-hour arrival window that it sends out, because the way the system works is it just works in like hour windows for the most part. So 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock is our first arrival window, and our last one is a 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock arrival time. So where it appears, and then you'll go into your booking form here. So these are all the different questions that you can ask people. And then if you go down to the bottom, this is how it actually appears. So once they've selected a time, then they'll just fill in this information. You can require some information or let them just volunteer some, such as like here if it's a business. If you come all the way down, give a summary of what they have, and then you can see how you can also select like multiple choice, add in multiple choice questions, such as how did you hear about us? There are some more advanced features like services, teams, vouchers, stuff like that. Some of this will not be available on the free version, though most of this actually must be available in the free version now, because we're no longer paying for this because we don't use this function anymore, unless it was because we at one point had the advanced version and they were just letting us view our archives. That could be it. There is a way, like if you go to afterwards, this is a confirmation email. This is a completely free feature, and it could be, every time a customer books, you can have a booking form sent to you, and then you can also have one sent to the user. So this is just kind of the standard form, just to let you know that somebody booked. And also you'll set a time, a minimum time that it allows it to book online. For example, like same day bookings, you might not want to allow booking within like an hour or 2 hours or something like that. And that is a feature that you can adjust. This is what the confirmation email to the user would be. And you designate in your booking form using these brackets. You actually designate a quick, I don't know if you call it a link or hyperlink, whatever, on any other communication that's done with a customer. So for example, this is for first name, you do the bracket and you say first, and then whatever the customer inputted in that first name field will appear in this. So it's pretty cool. And then you'll just type in entire confirmation email. Anything you want to get sent to your customer will be included in this. So this is what the actual, when they go to your site, and there's a way you can put this on your site, so you can set it up where it either goes to a separate like URL web page, or you can actually stick this on your site, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But this is how it appears. So if you they go to like a book online page on your website, this is what it's going to look at. This is what they're going to be seeing. And this is the text that you can place, and this is customizable. So, you know, we always want to specify 2-hour arrival window, because if you look down here, it's not clear. And that's just a limitation of the system. And a lot of booking systems are that way. They schedule 1-hour blocks instead of 2. So as you can see, we no longer use this calendar, so it shows everything is completely open because we're no longer using it. So, well, how does it work with Google Calendar? So what you'll do is you'll find the calendar, and then you go to Embed. You'll click Embed, and if you want to embed this calendar on your website, you would click Copy to Clipboard. That's going to copy all that text, and then you'll need to go on the back end on like your WordPress to the particular page you're going to do, you want to go to, and then you're just going to copy, or paste. You'll paste that information in there, and then that's how you hook it up on your on your own website. So with Google Calendar, after it is set, this is what it looks like on Google Calendar. Now what you're looking at here is our Charlotte location back in 2016. We'd been open a couple months at this point, and we were running 2 trucks from time to time, it appears. So the way you set this up is you would have any of your openings, any of these white slots is an available time slot where somebody can schedule. So let's go to January of 17 when we were no longer using this system. This is what a blank calendar would look like. So this is how you're going to set it up. You can have just any time that you do not want to schedule, you can have marked as unavailable. So for example, we'd like 8 to 10 arrival windows, 10 to 12, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, or 5 to 7. When you put these, so all you do is you just create an event for unavailable. Now the key is make sure that it is marked as busy. If as long as it's marked as busy, then You Can Book Me will not show it as being available. However, let's go back to a time, back to October when we were still using the system. And when You Can Book Me, when one of the jobs schedules, then it'll appear with booked, and then this bit of information here. Now, what you'll notice if you click booked and you go to edit event, this is now marked as busy. Let's say you're running 2 trucks for a particular day. So this books up, but you can still book another time slot for that particular window because you have 2 trucks running. Like right here, you see how there's 2 bookings on this slot? That's what we're talking about. 2 here, 2 here. 2 here, and so forth. All you got to do, if you want to make this 8 to 10 slot on the 26th available, is go to booked, and then you would just come to where it says busy, select free, click save, and now you can book.me is going to consider that spot still available. So this is really just a great system when you're first getting going. As you get more sophisticated, I would encourage you to look to move to a system like JRA offers. But when you're first starting, you can be book.me works great. You really need an online booking feature on your website. I think this is the best one that's available for free, and there's many out there. Square offers them, and several other there's several other versions of different types of software out there. But I believe youcanbook.me is the best, the most professional appearing, and the best functioning out of any of the free ones available. As always, Junk Removal Authority is here to help you. One of the things that we've really been talking about a lot recently is our AdWords management that we offer. Just very unique to be able to hook up with a company that specializes in junk removal. Remember, we built Junk Doctors to a $2 million a year business off of AdWords. That was our primary source of new jobs and new revenue. We thought we were doing a great job while we were self-managing it. I studied it a lot, thought I was doing excellent. And it turned out after we partnered up with the group we work with now that we've developed just kind of the best junk removal AdWords campaign available. That we discovered there's actually $300,000 of mistakes that had been made over a 5-year period. That has since been corrected. You can hook up with us, and you take it. You don't have to spend that $300,000. I spent that money for you on your behalf, and we've really built this up into a great campaign that's going to bring you a lot of business, and the business it brings you, every single one of the job is going to be profitable on average on anything that it brings you. You can call us at 919-466-9322 or email me at lee@junkdrs.com.